This is our first special about science communication. This is Naturalis Newsroom. Today in the building, Juli Berwald, an American science communicator who writes for magazines like National Geographic, Wired and the Huffington Post. Her new book, Spineless, about jellyfish will be published this fall. She's here in Leiden to do some research for her new project. Great opportunity for Naturalis Newsroom to ask her anything about science communication. Hi Julie.
Hi.
Why do you write about science?
Oh wait. I don't know, science is amazing. That's like the biggest question.
That is a big question.
Okay, wait. My background was a mixture of physics and math and biology. So I think I started writing about science because I had a background in it and I knew it. But I think I stay writing about science because I'm really passionate about it. I mean, it is the way our world works. And I want to share that with other people.
You wrote a lot about jellyfish, for example. That's not an obvious crowd pleaser.
No.
So why did you choose topics like this?
I think it's a problem that jellyfish aren't an obvious crowd pleaser. So sometimes looking at the not obvious things, you find the amazing things. And maybe I'm attracted to that, the underdog kind of. There's a lot of people out there who talk about, polar bears and sharks. But every animal that exists on our planet today is a survival story. It's a story of the success of evolutionary history. So there has to be something incredible about it. There might be many incredible things about it. And even the underdogs, even the ugly creatures or the things that don't have eyes that can look at you longingly, they have great stories to be told as well. When
you're looking for a scientific story to write about, what does it need to have to attract your attention?
I don't know. It has to be something that I think I've never heard before. So I think that's one of the amazing things about science is there are stories that you've never heard before. And for me, that novelty is part of what makes it exciting.
Do you have any advice for scientists? How can they help science writers?
Do I have any advice? Mostly just talk to science writers.
Is it necessary to educate yourself to accurately write about science?
Oh, absolutely. It's a very important part of science communication is to understand the science that's out there and the background for whatever, the story you're telling is.
Do you just want to inform your readers or do you also want to activate them?
Yeah, you definitely. The best stories are the stories that inspire you. So you want to do more than inform. You want to explain why that science is relevant to the person reading the story. I started off telling a story about jellyfish swimming, and it turns out it might actually help us understand how to engineer boats or submarines better. That's the cool thing about science. Sometimes the stories start in one place and they end up way over on another place. And so yes, you want your reader, in the best case, to understand why a story matters to them. Where
do you think the field of science communication is heading?
In great places. It's not just books about science anymore. It's all kinds of, any way you want to get your science, you can find it. People making videos about science, there's podcasts about science, there's animations about science. I think science communication is getting bigger and better and stronger and more interesting. It's wonderful.
Does the Trump administration have an effect on science communication?
Yeah, it's not a good effect either. Right now, the government is calling climate change a hoax, which it is most certainly not. And so all of this is making it a situation where science is being discredited to some extent. The science communicators are trying very hard to speak over that kind of information that's coming from the government, but it's a problem.
Who is your science communication hero?
My science communication hero is a woman named Katherine Hayhoe. She's a climate scientist in Texas, and she also happens to be an evangelical Christian, which does not generally go together. And she says, you know what? The science is the science. It doesn't matter who you are, but or what group you belong to. The science is the science, and we need to really understand that. And she even got to sit down with President Obama and Leonardo DiCaprio and talk climate science.
Bravo.
And she killed it. She was better than both of them. She's my hero.
Who is your SciComm hero? And if you are a communicator as well, why do you write about science? Let's start a conversation. Oh, and if you haven't seen our last video, go check it out if you want to help Julie with her next project. This was Naturalis Newsroom, and we will be back with more discoveries.